Hi everyone, this is Ravi Singh, Assistant Professor at International School of Management, Patna. This is the ninth lecture on transportation. Specifically, we are going to discuss about containerization and some other important terms used in transportation. So let us discuss what are the topics which we are going to cover. So first, we are going to understand what containerization means. Then specification of containers. Then we are going to understand the concept of TEU, 20-foot equivalent unit, and benefits of containers, and finally, some important terms related to transportation. So, so what is containerization? So containerization is a system of intermodal freight transport using intermodal containers. What does it mean? It means that when we are, especially when we are using intermodal system of transportation, means we are using more than 2 or 3 modes for transportation of our consignments. We normally use containers. These containers are also known as intermodal containers. These containers are ISO containers because they have a standardized shape, size, and standardized specification. So let us understand what are the important characteristics of containers. So the first important characteristic of container is that it is made of a very strong weathering steel. Weathering steel means it is non-corrosive. Also, it is known as cotton steel. So the containers are made up of non-corrosive cotton steel. Also, it is very strong. These containers have a standardized dimension. So that is why this standardization has been given by ISO. So usually the containers are of the length varies. 20 of the length of containers may be 20 feet or 40 feet, 45 feet, even 10 feet and 53 feet are available, but they are rarely used. The most common containers are of 20 feet size. So most common length is 20 feet, then 40 feet. 45 feet is also not used more. Then the width is fixed, that is 8 feet. Length may vary, but width is fixed, that is 8 feet. Height is also fixed at 8.6 feet and 9.6 feet. So the most standard size is 8.6 feet, and the containers whose height are 9.6 feet, they are known as high cube containers. So the standard container size becomes 20 feet length, 8 feet width, and 8.5 feet height. So this is the standard size of a container. So as we discussed the standard size of a container, this standard size means 20 feet by 8 feet by 8.6 feet. This size is known as 1 TEU, 20-foot equivalent unit. This is a unit for describing the cargo carrying capacity of a ship or a cargo handling facility or capacity of a terminal. So this TEU is just the size of one 20-feet containers whose width is 8 feet and height is 8.6 feet. So say for example, if I'm saying that this ship has 100 100 TEU, it means that that ship can contain 100 containers of this size. Yani, means 20 feet by 8 feet by 8.5 feet. So that is the concept of TEU, which is used for showing the size of ship. Also, it is this TEU is used to define the cargo handling capacity of a terminal. Then why we use containers? What are the benefit of containerization? So containers can be loaded and unloaded, stacked. Stacked means we can put one container over the other. So it can be stacked, it can be transported efficiently over a long distance. It can be transferred from one mode of transport to another without much difficulty. It's very easy to handle. Also, the containers are sealed unit. From the origin, it is checked and sealed. After that, it will open at the point of destination in front of the customers only, the client, the whose consignment is there, or the authorized representative of the service provider or people like that. So containers can be used with ships, with rail flat cars, even trucks with flat trailer. So it can be used with all these modes. So it can be used with roadways, it can be used with railways as well as waterways. So mostly we have seen the use of containers over railways and waterways. So now let us discuss the benefits one by one. So first, the security, about the security of the items which is inside the containers. So while if we are using containers, it provides security of goods from any kind of theft, any kind of damage, breakage, pilferage. Next one is convenience of handling. So as it is a sealed unit, say for example, there are hundreds of items under the container. So handling one container is comparatively much easier than handling 100 separate items. So ease of handling, convenience of handling is there. Also, the third point is transit time. It reduces transit time due to fast loading, unloading, and checking the consignment, because every time you don't have to check the 100 items, just you have to check the seal of the sealed container. And loading and unloading is also that is a one-time task. So less documentation is required. So as now we have to prepare document for one container, one sealed container, not the, we have to prepare the documents of all the items inside the container. So less documentation is required. Also, insurance cost is less because risk is less. So cost of insurance depends on the risk. So then the sixth point is efficiency in operation. As we have discussed above, that it is a sealed unit, it is Uh, we, it, we have convenience in handling, loading and unloading is fast. So it improves overall cost as well as time. So transportation cost is reduced. Now the eighth one is protective packaging. So as containers itself are very strong and the items kept inside will not be affected by any weather condition or by anything external damage. So less protective packaging is required for the items kept inside the container. So all these are the benefits of containerization. Now, now we are going to discuss the types of containers. The, the title is written wrongly here. The, it is my mistake. The title is of network. So, but we are going to discuss the types of containers. So, type of containers are, there are many types of containers. So, few types are like general purpose containers, which is used for any kind of purpose, the normal containers. Tank containers, it is used for transportation of liquid things. Then refrigerated containers, the image you given here is of refrigerated containers and a tank container and a flat container, open container. So refrigerated containers are used to for the transportation of items which needs refrigeration, which needs to be kept at a very low temperature. Then high cube containers, already we have discussed that we have two standard size, 8.5 and 9.5. Ventilated containers, these are usually used for such kind of items which need air. Like if you are using live cattle or something like that, which needs air. So for that, ventilated containers are used. Open top containers. Open top containers are used if some item has a height more than, say for example, 10, 12 feet. For a few machineries, it may happen.